Hey, Michael. Hope you're doing great. I just wanted to chat with you about where we are at with the data. This is called the calling list from enthealth.org. This is where we got the phone numbers, the original calling list, basically, and each person. This field was entered into each line of the red cap with the name, phone number, and insurance. Okay, so then I exported the data from RedCap, and thank you for adding the age and the NPI numbers. Those were super helpful. I included those in this table 1 demographics, so I took everyone who was called and cleaned up the data a little bit, did some imputation, categorized the data, and then exported this information. You really can't make a nice looking table with this exploratory.io, so I put it into R here, and let's not look at this quite yet. And we can get a table that looks like this. So, sorry for this period being here. I'll be able to fix that here. But, and eventually, just for cleanliness, like we'll remove one level just so that the table isn't so huge, and people can, of course, always figure out what the levels are if they had questions. Oh shit! And so, we had a good split of academic and private practice. We had stratified it by these regions, so that was good. This region 8 didn't quite get enough phone calls. So then what I wanted to look at was if we stratified it by Blue Cross and Blue Shield versus Medicaid, where it came out. And so that's where we got a table that looks something like this. And I did have it create p-values, so this is a chi-square, and it shows down here a trend test for ordinal variables versus a chi-square. I don't know why it would use that, but anyway, ideally we don't want any significant differences. You can see that for some reason there is a larger number of Blue Cross Blue Shield phone calls that were made compared to Medicaid phone calls. This does not, this does include people who had exclusions, so maybe I just need to include the people who are not excluded. But the specialty p-value was different among the percentage called, which we don't want. The regions were different, which we don't want. And it's fine that the number of transfers was different, but I'm going to have to keep looking at this. So kind of where we are with the analysis data is that I was able to find people who I created a branch off of this called Count of Those Called. Okay, and I just summarized by this physician information, like who was called once. This doesn't have their insurance, so everybody should have 2 calls, but there were 15 people who were called only once. There was one person who was called 3 times. So what I did was, we only really want the people who were called twice, correct? And so I just filtered it to those people who were called twice. And then I took that list and did what's called a inner join here. I'll show you what it is. So we only kept the people who were in both the ENT analysis and the count of those who were called. As you can recall, that there's only people who were called twice in this list, so that's a small group, and so we did an inner join and just included the people who were called twice. That brings us down to 1,170 rows. 570 something, I guess, calls. So then if we filter out these exclusions to those who we were able to contact, it was 563 people that we were able to contact. And if we look at those, then we see that there were 207 physicians who got 2 phone calls, and 149 physicians who just got 1 phone call. So, the thing is that if we look at the data, that some of these people, like Dr. Broll, able to contact. So like this guy here, or gal, Eric W. Bridges, we were able to contact him for this call with Blue Cross Blue Shield, but on this Medicaid call, we spent greater than 5 minutes on hold. So that's so this person's going to be excluded if we filter out reasons for exclusion as able to contact. So I think we might need to get Marcus back in on this to help us figure this out. So let me know what your thoughts are. Thanks, bye.